Thank you, Mr. Gray. I wanted to have a note of caution in relation to this particular set of clauses. And it's a word for the Treasury bench and the Minister, who's a good friend, who is a really good parliamentarian and is doing a fantastic job on this bill and in his role. But what I wanted to add is that I think there is a hidden danger here in the Secretary of State and indeed the Department not having the ability outside of an interim period to intervene at all in the process vis-à-vis licenses. In effect, as I understand it, and I stand corrected if I've misunderstood anything, once we have gone past the interim period, and indeed we've already discussed that, in the sort of peacetime, so to speak, the regulator, Ofgem, will make a decision. That decision can be rightly and very understandably scrutinised. Appeals can be made to the CMA, which is the right place for that to happen. But there is no provision at all for the Secretary of State to involve themselves in this process. Now, if I am right in my understanding of that, and I may be wrong, if there is no ability for the Secretary of State to intervene in that process, that strikes me as being dangerous in the event of there being an emergency, in the event the economic situation changes hugely, in the event that, frankly, the broader political environment could change to a point where the regulator has a very different view of this issue from the department. So I think that this is one of the areas, and I should have said, Mr. Gray, I should make note to my register of interest as chair of the Regulatory Reform Group. I should have said that at the beginning. I make note that this isn't just a dry technical thing that has no real overall political or economic bearing. It could be hugely significant over the coming years. And I would urge the Minister and his officials to consider whether we should retain some ability of the Secretary of State to intervene very directly in this process if it were to be required, though I suspect most of the time it wouldn't be.